Okay, we are live. Uh, yes, this is Patrick with Univium, and this is our show Return on Automation, where we talk about how to get the best return on your automations for your business or whatever it may be. Um, I run Univium, which is a business automation development company. So we work with small to medium-sized businesses and help optimize their processes and workflows. And so today I'm just going to kind of go over some of the current events in AI and automation this past week, just to kind of give you an idea of what people are using automation for and all that good stuff. And so first up, I see we have IBM is piloting an AI driven tennis commentary system using computer vision and speech models to kind of just comment on the game by watching it, which I think is really big because AI can potentially pick up on things that maybe humans don't have the eye for and that sort of thing. And so I think that can be really good. I've seen other people use AI for sports and whatnot. There's a company out there I think that uses AI to help train boxers and MMA fighters to show them how they can improve their performance and whatnot. It analyzes kind of their fighting style and takes a look to see who else has a fighting style similar to them that they can kind of model their training based off of, and what fighting styles are maybe their weakness versus their strength, and that all of that sort of stuff. I don't remember the name of that platform, but that's a really neat one as well. I see Pathway launched its fintech-backed automation platform, allowing underwriters and brokers to parse bank statements, auto-screen deals, and reduce underwriting decision times. That's definitely a big one, and I think we're going to see more and more of that. As someone who used to work as a mortgage loan officer, I can say that would have saved us a significant amount of time just going through documents, analyzing them, reviewing them, making sure that they're accurate, making sure we have all the little details. It can be so nuanced when you're underwriting, whether it's a mortgage or something else. All those little details, AI can help, give you a much quicker overview of everything. And then the next one we have, let's see, I had a couple of them. Uh, Zero rolled out its next gen AI super agent dubbed Jax, which orchestrates multiple automated agents behind the scenes to learn your business rhythms, streamline routine workflows, and surface actionable insights through a unified interface. Now that's one that I really found interesting. Zero is and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, as an accounting platform. And so I guess they're kind of analyzing the actions and steps that you take um, whenever you're doing your accounting and whatnot, and they're trying to look for recurring patterns and such to see, what are your maybe informal processes that can be identified and become formal, and that sort of thing. That's something I would like to do, honestly, with Univium, is have some kind of software that we can implement to analyze, based on maybe communication and internal chats like Slack or even via email, to try and identify, hey, what are some unspoken processes that we have that we could actually write down and execute, repeatedly. So I think that's a really big one. And so those are just a couple of events from this week to kind of give you an idea of what is going on. And now next up, I'm going to kind of go over this thing called Automation Hot Seat, where I just kind of look at a specific scenario and try and tell you how I would automate it. So I have two scenarios here. Depending on time, I may only go over one. Um, and in the future, I'm going to have a pop up where you can actually read this. I wonder if I can send it in the chat. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to send it in the chat. And this is a scenario I've never seen it before. I'm just going to kind of see real time cut off a little bit. Mailchimp drip campaign with similar listings. So yeah, so automating real estate open house flow with QR codes, Airtable and Twilio. Visitors scan a QR code at the door. Their info is logged in Airtable. They instantly get a Twilio SMS with property details. And if no follow-up happens in 48 hours, Make.com triggers a Mailchimp drip campaign with similar listings. I think the big question here is how do we get the email from them? For QR codes, I would like to use Rebrandly for that. Uh, it's rebrandly.com is a really great tool to make short links or QR codes. So I'd probably use that. And the visitors scan a QR code at the door and they instantly get property details. Okay. Well, I imagine if they're going to the house for an open house, they probably already have the property details, but maybe this is for people that just show up, or maybe you just want to. I'm not sure about that. I feel like most people would already have the property details, so this might be a point where I have a discussion on the process with whoever is requesting this. Um, it looks like in this particular scenario, we're using make.com. I prefer N8 over make.com, but so they scan the QR code in Rebrandly. I think Rebrandly has a make.com module. If not, it has a really good API. And so you can just do an API call via make.com to get that information. Question is how to get the email from that. You may have to have a QR code that takes you to a page where you enter your email. And then after you enter your email, you get the property information. So you might have a custom website. We could do a custom form on like Webflow or something. So scan a QR code, takes you to a Webflow with a form. Once you enter the form, you get the property details. I wouldn't even do the Twilio SMS because you also have to get permission to text them, but I see why you might want permission to text them. So I would get their email, their phone number, have them opt in for the SMS, and then right after they hit submit, I would just on that page give them all the property details, but then also text them a link with all the property details. For the texting, I would use something called Text Magic. Text Magic is a really good tool. And then again, you can add it to Airtable via make.com. That's relatively simple. And then if no follow-up happens in 48 hours, make.com triggers a Mailchimp drip campaign. And so you'd set up your Mailchimp drip campaign, and I'd probably have a script that runs every X number of hours in make.com, or a scenario every X number of hours in make.com. It will run and check Airtable for the date that it was created and or the last follow-up date or whatnot, and send add them to the drip campaign based on that date. So there's definitely a lot of questions I would ask in regards to this process of like after they go to an open house. I really don't know. I work with a couple of realtors. I'm not sure if you'd really want to follow up with everyone that comes to an open house or only specific people. Maybe you want to ask for qualifying information, like how soon do you want to buy? Are you just looking, etc. You'd probably want stuff like that. So yeah, I'd have a lot more questions on this, but those are kind of the tools I would use: is Rebrandly, make.com, and it said Twilio SMS. Sorry, I didn't clarify. Instead of Twilio, I would do Text Magic. I think it'll be easier. Mailchimp and Airtable. I think that should be pretty straightforward. And so just to save us on time, I'm going to skip over that second hot seat automation for today and just kind of go straight to the automation questions we have. And so automation questions, and I'm going to put this in the chat. How much should I budget for automation tools each month? That is definitely relative to your actual business in terms of how much you're wanting to spend. The amounts vary widely, and it depends on are you getting revenue directly from your automations, or is it more of an indirect automation just to help improve the efficiency on your operations? So that really varies a lot. I can't tell you how much I would spend on the automation tools. Another question to ask would be how much to spend on automation development and automation maintenance, because I'd say one of the things, in addition to the tools, you have to pay someone, unless you do it yourself, you have to pay someone to build it out, which is something that we can do. Or you have to pay someone uh, to maintain it whenever they break, because they do break, because people update their APIs, software gets updated, etc. Um, and so I'd say it all depends on how much money you're making. I'd say you probably would have a good idea, of, hey, is this worth it or not? Um, and so yeah, but that is a good question, and I probably need to do some more thought on, like, if there's you know, if you're spending $50 a month and making an extra, 250, is that a 5 times return on investment? Yeah. So I'm going to look into that one some more, but I would say just be cognizant of all the other costs involved with that. Yeah. And I would say Zapier and Make.com are Zapier is probably, I would say, the most expensive. Make.com is the second most expensive, and N8n is probably the most affordable. And so I just wanted to mention that. I'd say if you can use N8n, go with N8n, but Make and Zapier have some other benefits as well. What's the best tool for automating document signing? I don't like that one. So I use DocuSign to for automations related to document signing. Um, Whether it's like for a construction company, lien waivers or W-9s for contractors, or contract signatures and that sort of thing. I use DocuSign because it does have some really great tools within it. I don't like their API. Their API seems like it's always breaking or updating, or they ask me to refresh my connection every so often, because it is a document signing platform. It has a lot of security behind it, which is important. But it also, I think, it's just really complex on their end, and I think it keeps breaking. But DocuSign is my go-to, but it's kind of a necessary evil. Um, and so let's see. And there was another one, esignatures.com is a another good one that I like. It's relatively simple and straightforward. And so I'd say those are my primary two that I use. PandaDoc's a good one, but I haven't had a chance to try it out just yet. I think the pricing may have been a bit high. But DocuSign and e-signatures. And can AI handle messy, unstructured workflows reliably? No. A lot of people think AI is some kind of magician and can do anything or everything. And I would say no, it cannot handle messy, unstructured workflows reliably. If you have a messy, unstructured workflow, a human is going to have a hard time working with a messy, unstructured process that doesn't have, like, a specified outcome or specified, path to follow. And so if a human can't do it, then an AI can't do it. And that doesn't always apply. I would say, there's instances where AI can do stuff that humans can't do. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as AI becomes more prevalent and is used more often, it's going to become less about, do we have the resources to do this? And it's going to become more about what's the best way to do this. And it's going to become about optimizing your business processes and optimizing your business systems, because everyone's going to have the resources and capacity to perform actions at a low cost. So what's going to make you stand out from other people is the actions you're taking. Are they optimized? Are they efficient? Are they beneficial to your clients, to your customers? Are they easy? Do they make it easier for your internal team to use, etc.? So, no, I would say even with AI, you need to have a good process in place and a good system in place for your business. But yeah, So that's pretty much all I had for today. Again, this is just our second episode of Return on Automation. Last week we had an incident where we accidentally deleted the broadcast, but hopefully this time that didn't happen. If you're watching this, it did not. But tune in every Friday at 9 a.m. We're going to do a show and just go over how to get the best return on your automation. If you need any automation development work, I do run a business automation development company. And so just go to univium.com and you can tell us what you're looking to automate, and we will help you automate it. You should also follow us on LinkedIn as well to just stay up to date with, again, great automation and AI tips and whatnot. And so, link will be below to each of those. And I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.